This is the Playmakers Podcast, your source for local and nationwide hot topics in sports, giving you the Playmakers perspective on what's going down. You think of that real? You think of that Playmakers Podcast? We working.
Welcome to the Playmakers Podcast. This is episode 3. I am your host, Moe Jackson, of course. Got my partners in crime alongside me today. We got DB and Chuck. Section 5 basketball, man. It is insane right now. We got a whole lot of ball players. I'm going to say it's back and better than ever to me.
I agree 100%.
We have an action-packed show today. We got head coach from Aquinas, Coach McCauley. They just coming off a really, really big win in the Aquinas tournament against Leadership. We also have interviews with Moe McKinney and Kenny.
Yep, number 4 from Leadership.
Right after their big win against UPrep. Game was crazy. We also have an interview with Coach McCauley, of course. We got a special segment today. We got a goat in the house. We got a goat, a real live goat in the building today.
I'm
and
right
you'll
here.
see all that. Yeah. and we're all goats in some way. But we got an action-packed show today. And, you know, the Playmakers Podcast, we've been traveling, man. We've been to a bunch of basketball games this week. Like I said, basketball games have been crazy. Well worth the few dollars you pay to get in the game, right? But you know, this is the Playmakers Podcast. We got to shout out our sponsors: Shamrock Paving, Custo Print, and Shelton Financial. Look them up, people. Very, very great businesses in the community. They give back and they sponsor the podcast, so we got to shout them out. Shelton Financial for all your financial needs. Tax time is coming. You're going to need somebody solid with that. Shamrock Paving and Plowing. Definitely get with Shamrock Paving for all your paving and plowing needs. And then Custo Print, they handle all of our Playmakers Podcast wear. So look up Cornell and his team. They do an amazing job for family reunions, teams, all that good stuff. So go see Custo Print for all your custom print needs. Players of the week we got going on this week. Performers of the week. And then I'm excited about our GOAT segment. We got the GOAT in. I'm going to tell you who it is. We got Carl Jefferson in the building, y'all. Carl Jefferson is here to give us his take on Section 5 basketball right now. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned. Playmakers Podcast. We working.
3, 2.
Welcome back. How'd you like those highlights to start off the podcast? To jump right in, DB, I'm going to go right into how the weekend started. And that was one of the most anticipated games of the year so far. That was youth prep versus undefeated leadership. You're talking about two players with Mel on one side as a contender for player of the year and Moe McKinney on the other side, who is proven to a lot of people right now that he's a serious contender for player of the year.
We were star-studded. We got Melvin, Nas, battling the flu.
Battling the flu. With the flu headband.
With the flu headband. We got BJ, we got Moe, we got Shamir, we got Kanai. Star-studded affair.
It was. It was amazing the amount of jump shots that Kanai. The focus is one of the best backcourts for leadership is Shamir and Moe are one of the best, hands down, if not the best true backcourt in Section 5.
Absolutely.
But Kanai, he has come up big. In every game where he's had to come up big, his mid-range jump shot is unbelievable. And it's something you don't see a lot of kids out there right now focusing on. Everyone's so worried about shooting threes, dunking the ball. This kid is lights out. And UPrep never made an adjustment to stop him because he had to drop at least 5 from the free throw line, and he had a couple on the baseline.
The man had 24 and 17. 24 points, 17 rebounds.
Grown man numbers.
Mid-range looking like Chris Bosh.
Yeah.
They never adjusted.
Yeah.
And the coach kept running the well until it got dry. In this case, it never got dry.
Never got dry. It went into overtime. It was hard fought all the way, but the atmosphere for that game, Aquinas, and that's a huge gym. That gym was to capacity. The security was looking at me like, what are we gonna do? Like this place, when they ran onto the court after Nas folks hit that put back dunk, it was like an and one mixtape show because it was crazy. But the atmosphere brought me back to later on we're gonna have CJ on, was the old Franklin games, the old East games, that whole city vibe to where you could just feel the energy in the building. Incredible, incredible game. Leadership came out on top, setting up leadership versus AQ. But before we get to that, we have a post-game interview with number 4, Kanai, and number 5, Mr. Moe McKinney. Let's roll to it. Playmakers Podcast, live at the Aquinas Tournament. I got Mr. Maurice Moe McKinney, the second time with us this year, and Mr. Kenny Hardiman, number 4. I'm gonna start with you, Kenny. We've been watching you, and after the last game we saw you over at BK, you're having a huge impact already this year. You're really stepping up and playing a big, big role. Huge rebounds, amazing. You made some incredible shots along the baseline tonight. Where's your confidence coming from this year?
Senior year, I'm just trying to go to the blue card for the
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. You guys are definitely getting your ratings right now. Moe, another great game. You out there, you're like the silent assassin. You don't say a lot. A lot of those other kids is out there chirping. You're not really chirping. You're just playing. What's driving you when they're coming at you like that? You're not saying a word. What are you thinking about?
Oh man, I be in the gym, so it's reps, and I'm not a talker, like talking cheap. So when I get in the court, I'm silent, and I just kill.
Now, this was a team that was considered the best team in Section 5. You guys just knocked them off on a neutral. Overall, both of you, how does that make you feel?
Man, I'm telling you right now, man, it felt good. Everybody was doubting us. We had stayed together. We won. LA on top, and we like that, baby. Yes,
Yo, Playmakers Podcast, we working. Welcome back to the Playmakers Podcast. DB, let's just jump right into it. Great game last night.
Absolutely.
AQ, leadership undefeated. AQ once again with the big upset.
That's the second one, man.
Absolutely.
Quade, a rival game at that. Did leadership. Hard fought game. We got Miles Blackwood, 29 points, which he hit the game winning overtime.
Yep.
But what made that even bigger, because right before that, he missed the front end on a 1-on-1. To seal the game, to prevent overtime from happening. But way to bounce back. Steve Mahara had 10 rebounds. Wesley Henderson, 18 points.
Huge.
One of the guys who really stepped it up is Gabe Miller. Had 11 points, and 5 assists. He's
Huge
been real
game.
crafty, been getting to the hole at will. I mean, they just played AP basketball.
Very good, team-oriented basketball, getting ready for the big games, coming up big in the big games. That's huge. Overtime, this is like a little theme this weekend. Overtime, game-winning shots at the end. There's been 3 huge overtime games, but you got to say they really ended off the weekend with maybe the biggest or the second biggest game of the whole weekend.
So, what better way, with us being in week 3, Aquinas playing the way they played, is to have none other than the Aquinas coach, Coach JA McCauley.
Let's go.
Welcome back to the Playmakers Podcast. We're here with the JA McCauley of the Aquinas Institute of Rochester. Coach McCauley, glad to have you.
Thank you, sir, for having me.
Coach,
Appreciate you guys.
great to have you here.
Appreciate y'all having me on.
Coach McCauley, man, you have played some great games. You beat some really good teams. Started off with McQuaid, great game. You guys pulled through.
Yeah.
And last night, leadership, undefeated. They've been on the roll. They've been battle tested. But you guys somehow pulled through. You guys played the David role, knocked down Goliath. That was your own tournament. You guys won your own tournament. How does that feel?
It feels good. It feels very good. I mean, of course, you always want to protect your home court. So with that tournament being at AQ, we wanted to take pride in defending our home court.
Absolutely.
I thought we did a pretty good job of that. Played 2 very good teams, and Webster Schrader, and then of course last night with leadership, and I thought, we found a way to do it.
And on that, Coach, congratulations on the big win last night. I know we were talking earlier about something that's big with coaches, and that's making in-game decisions. And we were talking earlier about your big in-game decision with the defense. Could you touch a little bit more onto that, what it was and what made the difference for you guys with that, making that change?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't so much a change. I'm a man-to-man coach. It's something that I believe strongly in. Something that I feel like, if you're going to play at, that Division 3, 2, or Division 1 stage, you got to be able to play that. So that's something that we kind of got back to. So it was kind of more of a getting back to what we do, and seemed to play out pretty good for us last night.
Yeah, absolutely. I think playing good, hardcore man-to-man defense is something that gets lost. Sometimes people, they find it too easy just to drop back into a zone. And you got kids who can really make shots out there now. And there's a lot of zone killers out there right now. So in order to go into, do you look forward to going into sectionals knowing that you have a real strong defensive team? Is that going to be one of the big motivators going through? Because, you have a ton of offense. You have a lot of shooters on the team already.
Yeah, for sure. I think if you ever want to be any sort of a contender or a championship team, it's got to start on the defensive end. So that's something that we talk about every day. And last night we were able to put together a pretty good game plan as a staff. We talked all day about, do we play zone, do we play man? We just felt like with how well they share the ball, playing a zone might not be the best thing for us. I thought if we could just force contested shots all night, I think that would be more in our best interest. And
Obviously, it was a great plan. Yeah, obviously.
Coach McCauley, for those who don't know, how long have you been coaching at Aquinas?
I'm in my 9th year overall there. I was the JV coach for 5 years, and now I'm in my 4th year as the varsity coach.
So your 4th year as a varsity coach. There's been many challenges for these past 4 years. Challenge 1, man, you are replacing a guy I look at as a legend, especially within this past decade. Numerous of chips, numerous of players that went to top name schools.
Definitely.
And for you to have to even take on that role, I know he's a mentor to you. I know that's pressure within itself. So what are some of the pressures or some of the complications you have, or the pros and the cons of coaching at a private school?
Well, it's just like you say. Anytime you follow a guy like Coach G, obviously he was just named Coach of the decade.
Absolutely.
Which
Well
I
deserved.
think it was a no-brainer for him. But you know, just being able to come after him and learn from him was something that, you know, me and him talked a lot about when he decided to, you know, go up to, you know, St. John Fisher and accept that, you know, accept that role. But it's something that he and I, you know, talked about a lot. So I mean, when you say complications, it's not really many complications. You know, I put a lot of pressure on myself.
Absolutely.
To win. So I mean, I tell, you know, the school and their, you know, basically everybody that I talk to, that there's nobody that puts more pressure on, you know, the program than me. So with that being said, you know, I don't really see any complications or pressures, or, you know, I just concentrate on my guys, and, you know, and I believe in what, you know, we're trying to teach what we're trying to teach, you know, the guys. So
This year's team, they're good. Scrappy.
Young.
A lot of dog in it.
young.
Definitely young. So you got some young teams, some guys you pulled up, some freshmen, some sophomores. What's the learning curve like for that? I mean, to put your trust in those young guys to come in and just make plays and buy in, believe into the system.
Something that I kind of had to deal with myself this offseason. You know, I'm a guy that, you know, is up the whole game. I talk a lot, you know, and sometimes I talk too much. And I really wanted to take a step back and allow my guys to play more free this year. I think, you know, a clear example of that is the last 2 games, you know, last 10 seconds of the game. I had the option to call a timeout to try to set something up, or just kind of let things play out. Of course, with the game being tied, that helped make that decision a little bit easier. Of course, you know, obviously, but just being able to trust guys, and, you know, with that being said, you know, having some sophomores that played a lot last year, like Miles Blackwood, Jack Blyer, you know, those guys got valuable game experience. You know, so now that they're in their second year, you know, you're really starting to see that, you know, kind of, you know, that comfort from those guys, and, you know, tight situations and stuff like that. And I think that was, you know, shown these last 2 games for sure with those 2 guys. You know, my 2 sophomores, you know, scoring the, you know, the game shot, shot that, you know, give us the win. So.
Absolutely. I want to throw something else out there. I mean, and I believe I'm correct on this. You are the first African-American coach for the Aquinas basketball team?
Yes.
That's big time.
Yes.
That's special. That's something different.
Thank you.
And what you're doing with you guys, you're doing a phenomenal job.
Thank you.
I mean, you definitely, you're making a name for yourself. You, like I said, you knocked down. You've been the giant killers, man. You knocked down some top dogs.
I mean, it was a regular season game at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
And that's what I told my guys. This is not our goal.
Yeah.
Our goal is not to win a Christmas tournament. Our goal is not to be the team that's 8-0. Our goal is to win sectionals. And we remain focused on that goal. You know, amidst all the celebration and everything, I really wanted to tell my guys last night, make sure you take a deep breath and you understand that this is not our goal.
Absolutely.
So we're going to keep striving for the main goal, which is to win, because obviously when you come after Coach G, who did nothing but win,
Yeah.
a Christmas tournament isn't enough.
Absolutely.
So we're going to keep striving for that, the main goal, which is to win it all.
Absolutely.
So where do you see your place right now in AA? There's you have UPrep. I think a very slept-on team is Webster Thomas, who is going to be very tough with a knockdown shooter, all about to get his 2,000 points. Where do you see yourself? Like, how do you position? Do you think ahead to like teaching in these regular season games? Like, listen, this is when we get to sectionals, these are who we're going to have to face. We're going to have to be ready for these certain type of situations. Do you instill that into the kids and talk about it a little after, or do you think it's too early to start putting that mentality
I think
in?
it's too early to start talking about that. I think each day you prepare for that. So I think you're trying to instill the things now that you want to see eventually when that time comes. I think each game is just another rehearsal for eventually that time. So I'm not talking about I'm not talking about the playoffs or anything. We're just trying to concentrate on improving these guys each day. I'm trying to get them to trust themselves more, trust each other more. Trust the things that we're trying to instill more, and just take it one day at a time. I think that's what you should do with a young team.
Absolutely.
We're just going to keep taking it one small step at a time.
Yeah,
I think anytime you try to get too far ahead of yourself, you lose sight of the moment. Yeah. And with young guys, I think I'm just trying to teach them to stay in the moment, stay composed, stay focused on what we're trying to do in and now, and let everything else just kind of play out from there.
It has to be helpful playing on a big stage like Aquinas, one of the bigger gyms, some of the biggest crowds. The Aquinas McCauley game was pretty much a sold-out game. The Christmas tournament the crowds were unbelievable. But that atmosphere, I think, really sets you up better for having to play in the big house and all that. Do you feel the same
Definitely
way?
agree. I definitely agree. And I mean, this is what you want. I mean, at Aquinas, we always play a really tough schedule.
Yeah, absolutely.
We don't have, basically any games on the schedule where we see as a for sure win, and that's what you want. You want to go into that time of the year being tested, having played these games against the U Preps, the McQuades, obviously last night. You need those games.
Absolutely.
Especially with a team so young. So we're going to keep testing these guys. The crowds are great. The vibes in the gym are great. Everything was great. So I'm really excited about what we're doing and how we stand. So.
Coach McCauley.
What's up?
Glad to have you. Quick question before you let you get out of here. When is you guys' next game?
The next Friday we play at home versus Edison.
That's a pretty good game. Edison's been pretty tough.
Real scrappy
Oh,
team.
yeah,
Shout out to
absolutely.
Coach Reg over there. He's doing a fantastic job. He's turned, not turned things around, but he's kind of picked up where Jake kind of had things at. And he's got those guys playing hard and playing very, very, very scrappy. Obviously, anytime you beat Quade, that says a lot. So we're taking those guys very seriously. And,
Absolutely.
That was something that we also talked about, is that you can't follow up a big game like we had last night with a clunker. So we got to come out ready to play, locked in on what we need to do as a team, and see if we can keep carrying this thing forward.
For those who don't know, Coach Simmons was the previous coach at Leadership. Now he's over at Edison. He has definitely turned that program around. Coach McCauley, you guys can make it out here anytime.
Appreciate
Glad
y'all.
to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure.
Appreciate
See you some more of the games.
Yeah, sounds good. Appreciate
Playmakers
y'all.
Podcast, you working. Hey man, that was a great interview. Coach McCauley, real insightful.
Great guy. Great guy.
Just the schematics and scheme he talked about when he talked about his team, the heart, just that dog. He epitomizes all of that.
He's putting in that work. That's what we talk about.
Exactly.
We working. They're working right now
Absolutely.
at AQ.
But I gotta give a shout out. Russ Henrietta Memorial Conference.
Yeah.
We haven't spoke about them all season. Listen, they won 4 out of their last 5. They've been catching fire. They just beat a very, very good Southern team.
Defending champs, right?
Defending champs, run their tournament. And Coach Reed, he got them boys playing well. They're playing together.
Yep.
Second shout out.
Whew.
This kid out of
These numbers is hard to believe.
This kid out of CJ Finney, Marcus. Kid had 56 points. He's averaging a good 43, 44 points.
43 points, something points a game right now.
Only a freshman. Let me remix that.
Yeah.
Only a freshman. And he also is like 50 points away from scoring 1,000. Listen, they have some stiff competition.
Yeah.
I mean, they're pretty good, within their class. But performances like that, we got to highlight. It's no way. And he's been doing this since last year as an 8th grader.
Those are numbers that will take notice across the state. Everyone has to stand up and pay attention to that. And like you said, 9th grader, I don't care where he's playing, what competition he's up against. that's just incredible numbers.
Undeniable. Definitely undeniable.
So right now on the Playmakers podcast, we have a special interview. And the founder of the place we're at, the MJ School, he's gonna bring in his childhood idol to come talk to him about Section 5 basketball right now. So without delay, Mr. Jackson, Mr. Jefferson, let's go.
Back to the Playmakers podcast. We are here with a very, very special segment. Y'all see who I'm sitting next to. We got the GOAT in the house. We got Carl Jefferson, my man. Thanks for coming out. We appreciate you coming. It's my day one since we was yay high, you know what I mean? So Carl had to come through and get some things off his chest about Section 5 basketball. I gotta slow it down though, because right now we got some heat in the building, man. I talk about myself, but we got the GOAT here. We got Coach McCauley in the building. We got Brianna Cromartie in the building. We got a lot of Rochester greats in the house right now. And we got dudes on the field working out. This is the place to be, man. I'm just checking out the surroundings, and it's a lot going on in here. Now, this is big business right now, but we got to go here, man. Carl Jefferson. Carl Jefferson, Skills, Agility, and Strength Training, BTTYC. Carl, tell the people what BTTYC stands for.
Be true to your craft, man. Always. Purpose is always greater than circumstance, you know, for real.
Be true to your craft. You can't say it no better than that. All of the elite can pick up what that means. Be true to your craft. Do what you're supposed to be doing when ain't nobody watching. Do what you're supposed to do to get better for yourself. Do what you're doing for yourself, not for nobody else. But be true to your craft. That's what it takes, and you can't sum it up no better than that. But we got Carl Jefferson, man. Carl is the GOAT. He's my GOAT in Section 5 basketball. If you never seen him play, shame on you. But the dude was a walking highlight at any time. Standing 5'8".
I'm 5'9.5".
Standing 5'8", but he gonna jump and dunk on anybody that's down there. Gonna rise up and shoot the J over anybody that's down there. But right now you train a lot of the athletes.
Yeah, I'm trained I'm putting my hands on probably about 40, 50 kids around in Section 5 that play Section 5 basketball, male and female too.
Yeah, give us some of the names that you work with.
I'm working with Lamar Lovelace. He injured right now, but he's still coming in the gym. He's still coming in the gym every week, like 2-3 times a week, getting it in. Terrell Wilson, over at Athena. Keith McGee, over at McQuaid. Kobe Long, over at McQuaid. I mentor a lot of the kids. That's just a few,
I was about to say, I remember you not showing me, but talking about how you mentor and you talk to dudes like Tony Arnold.
Right,
Just giving them that experience, that knowledge that you got, and giving back.
Right.
Giving back to the youngsters, the up and coming.
Right,
dudes.
yeah, man, like these kids, man, these kids in the gym every day, they gym rats, you know what I'm saying, most of them. But if they don't have the mental aspect, they'll never be able to put together, the physical aspect of the game. Especially, you know what I'm saying, when you level up, you know what I'm saying, going to the next levels. You know what I'm saying? So I always, you know what I'm saying, besides the skills and the strength training and stuff, I try to speak a lot of existence into kids I'm able to put my hands on in the community.
Getting the mental part to match the physical and to match what they want, right? So it's a great thing, man, to have one of the best. Everybody knows your name. Everybody's heard of you, but a lot of these kids that are playing now, they never saw you play, because you are kind of up there.
Right.
We kind of up there in age, right? So a lot of these kids never had a chance to see you play, but they always heard the name, right? So it's good to be out there giving back and doing what you're doing, letting them feed off of what you're giving them and learning from you. And it's a beautiful thing. Now, Section 5 basketball right now, I'm going to jump out there and say this is the best Section 5 has been ever. I know I'm sitting next to the GOAT, but back then, we didn't have a whole lot of teams like your Franklin team. Right now, the talent is spread out. It's a lot of under teams that aren't as talented as other teams. beating those talented teams. It's a lot of teams that are loaded with talent. There's a lot of teams with 2 guys that are elite, but it's a lot of talent in Section 5 basketball right now. Let's talk about what you think. What's your opinion in Section 5 basketball right now? Give us some things that what Carl Jefferson sees. We know we see you at the games and all that kind of stuff.
You know, like, okay, like from the jump, I'm gonna just, explain to everybody, like, it's complicated and I don't like it. All right? Like,
What's complicated about it?
It's like, it's hard, man.
Yeah.
Like how you say, like, I'm gonna go out on a limb. I played on one of the best teams in Section 5 history.
Absolutely.
But like everybody was tough though. Like I was just blessed to play on like a real good team with a real good system.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Coach Trip Jackson.
Yeah, shout out to Coach Trip Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Legend. Good teacher. You know what I'm saying? Real good system. But it was back then. Everybody was good though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this year, I have never ever seen this much individual talent.
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Yes.
Like it's unbelievable.
Yes.
And you got like 10 cats, man, that arguably the top 5. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you have, but when you talking about the GOAT, this year, you know what I'm saying? The head honcho.
Who's your GOAT this year?
No, I can't say.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say,
say,
but it's a method to my madness.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care what nobody say. Like the top 5 is different today.
Yeah.
Today, yes.
Yeah.
Like when 12 a.m. struck last night, it's different today.
Who's your top 5? Give me your top 5, CJ.
Tajay Hill, the best player in Section 5.
That's big. That's a statement. That's big. Hold on. Let's slow down. Tajay Hill, coming from the GOAT. Tajay Hill is the best player in Section 5.
Talk about it.
Tell us why.
Let me tell you why. But can I tell you who number 2 is?
Yeah, go ahead. Yep. Go ahead.
Melbourne Council. 1.5.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's that close.
Yeah, but so Melbourne 2. And I got a reason for that. Tony Arnold is number 3 to me. Like I said, my top 5 is different today. Moe McKinney is number 4 to me.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah.
Okay. You hear me?
Yeah.
Now, like people go be mad at me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But y'all been sleeping on somebody. And I think y'all sleeping on this kid because of the numbers. He don't have crazy numbers. But this kid, he's a man, he a diamond.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about him. But this kid playing and he winning. And he's a point guard, a young point guard.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Damani Barley balling.
Damani Barley.
Damani Barley is balling.
Okay.
Damani Barley is balling.
Okay. So Damani,
and
how old? What year is he in?
And I want to say Damani is what? He's a sophomore. Damani Barley is balling.
Making the top 5 as a sophomore.
Yeah, coach. Yeah. Damani Barley is balling. Now, and I'm gonna tell you now. Hear me out now. It's guys, it's other guys that's arguably should be in this top 5. You know what I'm saying? Like like I said, my top 5 is different today. Jermaine Taggart was in my top 5. Kobe Long was in my top 5. It's my favorite. That's my favorite. That's my heart. You know what I'm saying? But it's a reason why they not in the top 5 no more. They seniors, okay?
Talk about it.
And they're losing bad. I don't want to hear no top 5. Okay? Now everybody we talking about here today, like another guy, Zach. over at East. He should be in the top 5, in my opinion. But he's not in the top 5 because he's yet to be battle tested. Like, out of all these guys, everybody been battle tested. Last night, you just had arguably the number 1 players in Section 5 go face to face, head to head, man.
And it went,
You know?
it went like it was like
And you know, like one of them fouled out, but the kid almost had, he was 3 rebounds away from a triple-double. And, you know, he fouled out, you know, 2 GOATs go head to head, 1 foul out, like, you know what the outcome gonna be.
Right.
The other GOAT shall prevail, and he held it down and he did what he had to do at his house. You know what I'm saying? But I you know what I'm saying, I can't speak the future, but or go back in time, but like ain't no telling how that game would have ended if Tony Arnold, would have been able to finish the game. Because before he fouled out, and that was a horrible call, I might say, but before he fouled out, that kid was in a rhythm out of this world.
Yeah.
You know, he really controlled the game. He was really controlling the game. But a lot of these kids, they all been battle tested. You had prep leadership.
Yeah.
You know, and Boone Council.
Yeah.
When we talking about upside, when we talking about pros, you know, man, like that kid he has so much upside it don't make no sense.
Yeah.
Like he a pro. Yeah. I really think, you know what I'm saying? Like with the with the right people in his corner and like that good path, you know, sometimes like if you can get like a road map to like to where you going, like I think that kid he got #1 pick potential. And I really mean that. You know, Tajman Hill, to me, he has peaked. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm saying he's peaked to the point where, like, he is uber far ahead of his time.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen nothing like it. You know what I mean? So, like, from here to me, like, just being around basketball a long time, I think the only thing he can do is get stronger, faster, and it's gonna be the mental part with him going to the next level. I ain't never seen nobody like that. He hit a game winner in OT last night.
But it was a grown man game.
Grown man, and like
it was a step back, fade away off the 1 foot. It's a Nowitzki shot.
And see, that's the only thing like the average fan seen.
Right.
But you like this high school basketball.
Yeah,
when high school kids hit game winners, they get the ball from right out of bounds, go down, and whatever happens, right? What you don't understand, this kid was supposed to get the ball out of bounds. He got pushed off the ball, right? He went down court, relaxed, reset himself, and went and got the ball. So for one, he hit an off ball, off the dribble, off 1 foot, game winner in OT, no time on the clock, man. That's huge. I ain't never seen nothing like that.
Yeah, in high school.
In high school, never. I ain't never seen nothing like it. So, just like I say, if you go call yourself, when you say you the best around, man, you gotta win games, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
Especially when you going up against somebody, you know what I'm saying, who's arguably in the same class as you are. You know what I mean? Like you can't be a #1 and you losing the honorable mentions.
That's the fact.
Plain and simple.
And piggybacking off of that.
Yeah.
You know, when you talk about being #1, you talk about the guy that you're gonna put in the #1 spot. This is still high school basketball. Albeit it is different. There's a lot of good players. There's a lot of good coaches coaching, and there's a lot of good teams.
Right.
But if you're that #1, you're gonna will yourself, and your athleticism is gonna win ball games for you.
Right.
So to say that this kid should be #1 or this kid should be #1, if this kid's athleticism, after the mental, if his athleticism ain't dominating, he's not a #1. That's just a fact. You can't be #1 if your athleticism isn't that much better than everybody that's on the court.
Right.
Right.
And that's why my top 3 is my top
Exactly.
3. But my 1 and 2
physically
you know
better than everybody.
And to all the viewers out there, especially, you know what I'm saying, like
Don't name
to,
nobody.
no, yeah, to the parents of the kids, like, you know, we all family. Like, like that, you know, we all family. I love y'all. Like, we always go back and forth and argue about this. Like, you know, like last night was beautiful, man. Like after Taj hit the game winner, like I was sitting there with his family, and like we've been knowing each other 30 years plus. And you know, and she ran down on me and said, "Nah, you gonna change your mind now? Tajay the best, yeah. Who the best now, Carl? Who the best now?
So
who the best now?"
Yeah.
And you know what I told her?
Yeah.
I said, "He the best, but those two guys still gotta play against each other.
He can't slack off one bit.
He can't slack off.
One bit. Now I'm gonna do something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do something right quick. Behind the scenes, Chuck. We were sitting there talking the other day. Can you read off what I wrote on the top of my calendar there for the guys that are Division I players? I put them in big letters and I circled one of them.
Of the things you put,
Yeah.
you said size,
athleticism, fight,
smart, and what you circled
Smart.
was anticipation.
and I circled anticipation. Now, we talked about your top three. Your top three, in order to be D1, this is my opinion, but I'm gonna say it's almost a fact. In order to be a D1 player, you gotta have the size. The athleticism gotta be through the roof. You gotta have fight in you. You gotta be smart, and then the last one, anticipation, was circled. If you can't anticipate the game and be in position before everybody else is, in an athletic position, and then make the play, actually making the play, you're not Division I. If you can't, in basketball, if you don't play above the rim, chances are you're not Division I.
Yeah.
You gotta have an elite skill set to play the basketball game, not above the rim.
And
you gotta be Kyrie.
Right. And let's get this straight, man. Like all this dunking stuff, you know, in high school, man.
I said it yesterday.
Man, everybody can dunk.
Now,
Now, but like, so what though? Like, but like when we talking about dunking, are you dunking in half court sets?
That's what. That's what the difference
are you
is.
dunking off the bounce?
That's what the
you know,
difference is, because that shows athleticism.
Yeah. Are you you know, foul line extended at the post and jab, go, one dribble, dunk?
Right.
Are you finishing with dunks with contact? Like the only I seen Zach caught a nasty and one this year, you know. But Tony Arnold caught a crazy and one contact dunk Friday night, you know. This kid, I don't even know who this kid is. I be seeing something.
Justice.
Yo, y'all better strap y'all boots up.
Yeah, because he only
Cause he coming.
What year is he?
Pause.
Sophomore?
But he's a sophomore.
Yeah.
Yo.
Athleticism through the roof.
Like he's through the roof. One dribble. This kid, one from the corner, one dribble.
Now this is not like
Hot step dunk. That's
what
athleticism.
What he's saying is like you said, it's not to downplay anybody.
Yeah.
But winning ball games is the end all be all, man. It's the end all be all. When I was playing high school football, Marshall wasn't winning. We wasn't going to sectionals and none of that. When you have elite players win ball games. And that's it. Period. That's it. Yeah. Elite players win ball games because their athleticism is that much better than everybody else's, or that much, higher than everybody else's. So you can be crafty and all that, but at this level, you need to be dominant because it's still just high school.
Right.
When you get to college, everybody's going to be that way.
Thank you. Yeah.
And athleticism is going to be here. That's where the anticipation comes in at. You got to be able to anticipate faster than everybody else. Right. You got to be able to play athletically with everybody else. You got to be smart. You gotta have the fight in you. So when the pushback comes, when you meet that dude that's just as athletic as you, are you gonna fold or are you gonna fight?
Yeah.
Are you gonna fold or are you gonna fight? That's the difference. So I'm glad the GOAT came through to give everybody that, because I'm gonna say it again, time and time again on the podcast. But we got another elite telling y'all the same thing. So when it's real, it's real, and it's gonna come from every elite player that's ever played at a high level. That same statement is going to come from everybody. So we got to wrap this up. He's going to be back. He's going to be back talking some more stuff. Again, Carl Jefferson skills, agility, and strength training. BTTYC, be true to your craft. Carl, how can people get in contact with you?
Via Facebook and or Instagram, BTTYC, Carl Jefferson _hoops. My government name on Facebook.
Carl Jefferson.
That's all simple. Like,
if you're looking for basketball training and you ain't going to the GOAT, that's like looking for football training and not coming to the GOAT.
Yeah, baby.
Playmakers Podcast.
Yeah,
we work
for real.
Welcome back. Great interview with Carl Jefferson.
Amazing points,
Legend,
full
man.
of energy.
I like to pick guys who kind of played on that stage, get to pick their brain, because they look at the game totally different.
Absolutely.
You know, another great game this week that I went to was East Ridge versus Hill. Tony Hour from East Ridge versus Tajay Hill.
Amazing game.
Amazing game. Another overtime game.
They're alive to see it.
The talk was real.
Oh yeah, the hype was real.
We had both going head to head. We had Tony ended up with 30, got fouled out in the fourth. We got
overtime. He fouled out in overtime.
In overtime.
Yeah, that was the first 2 minutes of overtime. Yep.
Overtime. So he didn't even. We got Tajay Hill. Severe cramps.
Severe.
Like literally had to get carried off the court multiple times.
Like 5 to 6 times.
But didn't want to quit. Put me back in the
Did
game.
not quit.
He did not quit. Coach put me in the game. That man ended up with 49 points. Not only did he end up with 49 points, he hit the game-winning overtime.
One-man army.
One-man army. I mean, what he was able to do out there, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like he showed his versatility, inside-outside game, making some great plays, his will to win. You know, it's like it's just the same thing with Nas, man. With him playing with the flu and the fight, like,
yep.
It's either in you or it's not.
What you see with these kids is it really means something to them. These individual matchups where they're playing against, like, this game was hyped all week long. The people who follow people on Twitter, you see these kids were going back and forth. They were excited about this game. The energy is there. It's the kids, it's the teams, and the fans and the way people are coming out. It's just amazing, man. It's great to see for the kids, and that's, you know, it's all about the kids. And he definitely
he put on a show. I mean, he definitely put on a show in his house. I mean, and what even makes it even better is because those are guys that I think everybody who's really into Section 5 high school sports, both guys can potentially win Player of the Year.
Oh yeah, without question.
So to see them go at it and fight to the end, an overtime game, it wasn't no blowout. It wasn't no one team is better than the other. It was literally back and forth.
Back and forth the whole entire game. There was right before halftime. Was like a game-changing moment when Tony Arnold caught a foul that when he put the ball in, they called a charge.
Yes.
Questionable call, but it was the call. And then what Taj did, he turned right around, came down, hit a three. It was a 6-point swing.
Yes.
Those are the things that really matter. That's what shows that kid is special, that he's next level, that he's definitely, you got to put him 1 and 2 up there right now. It's the two, him and Mel, it's the top 2 kids in Section 5. Absolutely. I mean, it's you can't go around it.
Absolutely. You can't be wrong by choosing either one.
Definitely can't.
What's biggest to the playmaker, performer
of the week.
That goes to Tajay Hill. 49 points. He went against another giant. Hit the game winner overtime.
Won his tournament at Hilton.
And it was the move. It was a great move. It was a difficult shot.
Very difficult. Off of 1 foot, grown man move. Next level move.
Chuck, what games you got to look forward to?
I mean, the game I'm really looking forward next weekend, we had coaching on here. I want to see AQ Edison. I've heard a lot of talk about Edison. I haven't seen him live personally myself, so I know we're both going to try and make it to the game this week. Definitely going to be there. We're really looking to see what the Edison kids are doing. Stiff competition. I think it's also a good to see what Aquinas does coming back off a big win like that. Is there going to be a letdown or not?
I mean, not even that. It's the fact that it's a good game for Aquinas. If we want to see what Edison want to do,
Yep.
It also for Aquinas, they've been playing up and down.
Yep.
Just same as Edison, they've been playing up and down. Both guys had big wins. They both beat McCauley. Edison lost leadership by 2. Aquinas beat leadership by 2.
Yep.
So it's the making of a good game.
Absolutely.
I'll be there. Chuck will be there. We hope you guys be there.
Look out for our not only the podcast, but check our Twitter page all during the week. Make sure you check our Facebook page. Drop comments. Let us know what you think. If there are people you think we're missing, please let us know. We'll get out there and see them.
Oh, forgot one more game. Prep versus Athena.
Oh yeah.
That'd be a good game. Mel old team. He definitely would want to, play against them, beat them. Who doesn't? Bragging rights.
Out of Roberts Wesleyan.
Revenge game. That's how we're gonna look at it.
Yep.
Revenge game out on Roberts. We're gonna be there too.
Huge game.
Yeah, absolutely. Playmaker Podcast. We working.
Thanks for tuning in to the Playmakers Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be on the lookout for the next episode. Playmakers Podcast. #